This is United Network News with Sunny Galt, Calen, Kimberly Gogan, and our field messengers from around the world. Here's today's real news.
In December 2024, bushfires sparked by dry lightning burned the Grampians National Park and nearby private land in Victoria, Australia. UNN Field Messenger Paul reports on the current state of the area.
Hello and welcome to my United Network Field Messenger Report. My name is Paul and my family and I have just returned from a road trip to the Grampians. The Grampians National Park is part of the Garraward Aboriginal Cultural Landscape and is located only 4 hours drive from Melbourne in the state of Victoria, Australia. The area is world renowned for activities such as hiking, rock climbing and camping, and has a very diverse range of native flora and fauna. Although it sounds like an idyllic environment for connecting with nature and sharing in the abundance of beauty, drastic changes have occurred in recent months on an unseen-before scale, which has now altered the landscape forever. In December of 2024, bushfires triggered by dry lightning scorched some of the areas in the Grampians and continued to burn through to January, when another round of dry lightning struck that increased the inferno. The Vic Emergency website currently advises that over 135,000 hectares of both park and private land fell victim to the disaster. A lot of the previous pristine areas of the Grampians are now closed off to the public, and although there has been restricted access to the northern centre of Halls Gap during this period, it has only been a few days from the date of this report that access via the main road from Dunkeld to Halls Gap has been restored. Having been lucky enough to previously explore the area and knowing what was there, this new vision brought with it a sadness that is difficult to describe. This event has been catastrophic. One source from Ground Zero commented that the fires were not like any other fires previously experienced in the Grampians National Park. Maybe they weren't a natural phenomenon. As you drive the 65 kilometres from Dunkeld to Halls Gap, it is evident in a lot of areas that there is nothing left, which does not suggest that natural regeneration will occur to all species. This is only a brief field messenger report to relay initial information. However, with an environmental wipeout this severe, I'm certain that future reports will uncover what the effects of these fires are and will be. Thank you for taking the time to listen and see what has occurred to this unique landscape. This is Field Messenger Paul for United Network News.
Offices and vertical farms might seem unrelated at first, but they share one key feature: the ability to efficiently use space. Transforming unused office spaces into vertical farms could address urban food shortages while repurposing otherwise wasted areas. Still, is this an effective long-term solution for urban areas? Post-pandemic trends have left office buildings empty as remote and hybrid work grew. In Canada, Australia, and the United States, office vacancy rates are rising, with the U.S. exceeding 20%, according to Moody's ratings. Empty office buildings have sparked ideas for new uses, including turning them into housing. However, developers point out converting offices into apartments is costly and complex due to the need for natural light and individual plumbing. A more practical option might be transforming these spaces into vertical farms. Open office layouts are easier to adapt for indoor farming, though retrofitting them with farming equipment and upgraded systems still requires effort. With controlled temperatures and artificial lighting, offices are well suited for urban agriculture, bringing fresh produce closer to consumers. Vertical farming also makes use of warehouses and other unused buildings, efficiently growing crops while minimizing the need for new construction.
None other than the skyscrapers are feeding us now. Vertical farming is taking urban agriculture to new heights. What if your local produce aisle was right next door? Vertical farming makes it possible. Using stacked layers and LED lights, these indoor farms grow everything from leafy greens to strawberries year-round. And the best part? They use 90% less water and no pesticides. Urban areas no longer need vast fields or perfect weather. By growing upwards instead of outwards, we save space and reduce transportation emissions. Plus, vertical farms can be set up in unused buildings, making cities greener and more self-sufficient. So next time you bite into a juicy tomato, think vertical. The future of farming is here, and it's right in our urban backyard.
Vertical farming offers many benefits, but also faces significant challenges. These farms rely heavily on electricity for lighting, ventilation, and automation, which can be expensive. Using renewable energy can improve efficiency, but high energy costs still make profitability difficult. Also, crop variety is limited, as leafy greens thrive, but staples like wheat, corn, and rice are hard to grow at scale. Traditional farming remains much cheaper, creating tough competition for vertical farms. Financial struggles, rising interest rates, and a shortage of skilled workers have led to inefficiency and the closure of many vertical farms.
Okay, so unless you have been living under a rock, you've most likely heard that the last 2 to 3 years have not been easy for the vertical farming industry, with many previously promising vertical farms like AeroFarms, Calen, Fifth Season, Future Crops, and Upwards Farms declaring for bankruptcies. In addition, many other very well-financed vertical farming companies like InFarms and Iron Ox have announced that they will be significantly scaling back their operations, pulling back from key markets, and basically firing huge portions of their global staff. So why is this happening? Why are vertical farming startups going bankrupt? Well, most of these failures can be attributed to things like overly large capital investments and unrealistic payback periods, bad business models, and non-existing unit economics. And all of this is added with investor FOMO and just overall hubris, meaning that too many vertical farming startups thought that they could scale a food production business like it's software as a service. Well, it's not. And of course, let's not forget the sudden rise in resource costs and consumer prices have made the situation even worse, pushing even more companies near the brink.
Despite setbacks, vertical farming continues to show promise, particularly in regions with limited farmland and challenging growing conditions. Its unique ability to grow food almost anywhere, whether in hot, cold, dry, or humid climates, makes it a game changer. For example, countries like Singapore, the United Arab Emirates, and Northern Europe are investing in it to boost local food production.
You can't grow any crops in the heat of Dubai, but that's not true anymore. Let me show you why. This is a vertical farm, and this is the future of farming for harsh climates like the Middle East. We simulate the optimal climate for growth as per the plant's natural conditions. We also use LED lighting and hydroponics to grow the plant as efficiently as possible.
One of the most exciting aspects of vertical farming is its potential to transform urban spaces. By repurposing empty offices or vacant buildings, vertical farms support the environment and also benefit local economies. They create jobs in urban agriculture, offering employment opportunities while supplying fresh, locally grown produce to nearby markets. This reduces reliance on imported food and strengthens communities, making vertical farming a win-win solution for a sustainable future.
Tomato fritters are a great way to turn fresh, homegrown tomatoes into a tasty snack or light meal. UNN Field Messenger Cara shares how she makes them using ingredients from her garden.
Hi, I'm Cara Gipp, Field Messenger for United Network News. Today, I'll be showing you how to make tomato fritters using our homegrown tomatoes. First, grab some seeds. And just like that, you have tomatoes. Before we start, don't forget to show your pets some love. Hi Clover. Once tomatoes are harvested, bring inside to rinse and remove stems. This recipe calls for 1.5 kilograms of tomatoes, or 3.3 pounds. Next, you are going to dice your tomatoes into small pieces as shown. Continue until all tomatoes are cut. Make sure to gently squeeze to remove seeds and some liquids. Do this before placing into a colander to drain for 1 hour. Whilst draining, place 300 grams of self-raising flour into a bowl and set aside for later. You'll also need 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 3 tablespoons of parsley, 3 tablespoons of mint, and 3 tablespoons of dill finely chopped. Other ingredients include olive oil, 1 egg, and salt. Next, crumble 150 grams of feta and place aside for now. After an hour of draining, mix tomatoes with a spoon to get rid of most fluids. Transfer to a bowl and add parsley, mint, dill, crack an egg, and add salt to taste. We like a lot. Then, with a wooden spoon, mix together until combined. When ready, add your flour and baking powder mixture gradually, continuing to mix until you reach a stiff batter consistency. To a heated fry pan, add a generous amount of oil. Next, with 2 spoons, scoop small balls of your mixture and gently place down. Allow to cook for a couple minutes before flipping over. Repeat on the other side and remove once cooked through and exterior reaches a golden brown colour. Remove and allow to drain on paper towel. So there you have it, delicious tomato fritters. Serve warm as a snack or light meal with a side of salad. These are a great meat replacer for meals and are ideal for meal prepping. I was able to make a total of 20 fritters, most of which I scooped onto baking paper, sealed and froze for meals of a later date. This is Kara Gitt, Field Messenger for United Network News.
Step into a world of possibilities with New Earth, a groundbreaking series that shines light on holistic ways to live, work, and thrive. Join us weekly to discover new innovative ideas and explore the world around us as we, together, create our future, our New Earth.
Recharge your morning with a drink that's simple, natural, and packed with nutrients. Discover UNN Field Messenger Emma's easy recipe for a healthy start to your day.
Hi, this is Emma, Field Messenger for UNN, reporting from my kitchen in Fuerteventura, Spain, in Europe. This is my morning drink that I just made with ginger, celery, lime, and it boosts my energy and keeps my throat clear. So cheers. Yes, it's strong. My mucous membranes tend to be a bit dry after a long night's sleep, and I know what to do and how to fix it. I go out in my garden and I see what I can find. Nature is amazing. I ended up with some celery leaf, moringa leaf, nasturtium leaves, a lime fresh from the garden. Even if it's winter here, things are still growing. And I feel so blessed to have a garden where I can grow my own plants and that way take better care of my health. I cleaned lime, ginger and the greens, cut them into pieces and put them into the blender and mix with filtered water. I use the whole lime with the peel on because it contains phytochemicals called limonoids, which induce protected enzymes and has antioxidant properties, well, according to the Encyclopedia of Natural Healing. Lime is sweeter than lemon and normally used for coughs and sore throats. So, there you go. I also add celery. The celery contains active ingredients like essential oils that are good for my kidneys. It has a diuretic effect by expanding the kidney arteries, which increases urination, the urine volume, and excrete waste products such as uric acid. The nasturtium leaves that I added are from the cabbage family, used to soothe sore throat and colds. We can even use the flowers, the seeds and the leaves as natural antibiotics to help heal internal infections. The moringa leaves are from the vitamin tree and have a lot of healthy benefits like speeding up wound healing, managing blood glucose, and antioxidants that supports the whole immune system. And then I add ginger. Ginger is an effective remedy for cold, flus, nausea, motion sickness. It is a pungent bitter and aids digestion and stimulates circulation during digestion. It also stimulates salivary glands and gastric secretion and increase the tone of the intestinal muscle. As you can see, a little glass is a powerhouse of nutrients, and it tastes good. It's a little bit strong, but it tastes good. This is Field Messenger Emma reporting from my kitchen in Fuerteventura, Spain, in Europe.
Red light therapy is getting a lot of buzz lately for its ability to improve skin, reduce inflammation, and even boost energy. It works by using low wavelength red light to promote cellular repair and rejuvenation. Sounds pretty amazing, right? But does it actually work? Or is this just the latest wellness trend everybody's jumping on? Back in the 1960s, doctors discovered red and near-infrared light could help with hair regrowth and healing wounds. Since then, red light therapy, also known as photobiomodulation, gained popularity in the beauty world, especially for recovering after plastic surgeries. By the 2010s, at-home red light therapy devices became widely available. Now they're a popular choice for reducing wrinkles, healing acne scars, improving skin tone, and boosting hair growth, all without needing invasive treatments. Red and near-infrared light are actually part of natural sunlight, which works almost like a nutrient for our bodies. These light therapies are a great way to tap into some of the benefits of sunlight, especially for those of us who don't get outside enough, which, let's be honest, is most people these days. But what sets red light apart from near-infrared light? And how do these two wavelengths benefit the body?
What's the difference between red light and near-infrared light? Red light obviously is visible to the human eye, and it is bright red. Near-infrared light is invisible to the human eye, and it's kind of a faint pink. And the two main differences are they actually affect the body in very similar ways. They just affect the body on different levels. So the red light is mostly for the skin, the eyes, the hair, everything on the outside of the body. The near-infrared light actually goes deeper into the body. It penetrates through the skin, into the muscles, into the bones, into the organs, into the joints, everything on the inside of the body. They do similar things to the body, they just do them on two different levels.
Red light therapy is gaining attention for its ability to promote healing, reduce inflammation, and ease pain. Research has found promising results in several areas, including neuropathy, where it improves nerve function and reduces pain by increasing blood flow and lowering inflammation. Red light therapy also helps enhance muscle recovery and reduce fatigue. Studies suggest it benefits skin health, cognitive function, and even eases side effects of some cancer treatments. According to research presented at the American Academy of Ophthalmology 2024, red light therapy slows the progression of dry, age-related macular degeneration and improves visual acuity, offering the first non-invasive treatment option for this condition. Also, clinical trials show low-level red light therapy has proven effective in managing and preventing myopia in children.
So I am a fan of red light therapy. This is a therapeutic technique that uses low-level light wavelengths of red light to address certain health conditions. So for the skin, you can actually help rejuvenate your skin by improving things like smoothness and elasticity. And it does this by helping to build collagen and reduce the enzyme that can break down collagen. Red light can also promote healthy tissue by increasing the production of ATP. So remember that from high school biology? So this is the energy that our cells produce, and it can help with tissue maintenance and repair. This is why it's also used often in those with arthritis or sore muscles. One of my favorite ways to use red light is actually on the scalp. There is data to support its use with hair loss. So you can find devices in the form of a helmet, hat, or headband. The problem with red light devices is, in general, they're not really standardized, so it's hard to see which red light devices are better than others. I do know that there are ones that are used in offices or spas. Those are the ones that are usually stronger and will have more of a positive impact, but using it at home is easy, it's accessible, and can most likely make an impact on your skin for the better.
Choosing a red light therapy device can feel overwhelming with so many options, from affordable tools to high-end clinic-grade setups. Devices vary in strength based on energy output, distance from the skin, beam angle, and skin reflection. Lower energy devices require longer treatment times, while higher powered ones work faster and deliver results closer to professional treatments. To choose the right device, start by identifying your main goal, whether it's targeting specific areas like joints or skin, improving full body wellness, or a combination of both. For deeper tissue treatment like muscle recovery or joint pain, opt for devices with higher power outputs. Devices with both red and near-infrared wavelengths can address surface and deeper tissue needs. Portable devices are ideal for travel, while larger panels are better for home use. Also consider your budget and choose reputable brands with strong warranties that make your investment count.
Hey everyone, I've been posting a lot these days about red light and infrared light. Here's the deal. Everybody's asking me, what is the best source of red light? What's the best red light device? The best source of red light, as well as the other longer wavelengths of light, such as near infrared and infrared light, to benefit your mitochondria by getting it onto as much of your skin or body surface as possible in a culturally appropriate way, as well as for eye health, as well as for metabolism, etc., is sunlight. It's also zero cost. Sunlight contains all the wavelengths of the visible spectrum, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. When the sun is low in the sky, some of those wavelengths separate out due to something called Rayleigh scattering. When the sun is overhead, you see the sun more as white light, but it still contains all those wavelengths of the visible spectrum. And of course, at all times, the sun is also emitting infrared light, near infrared light, and UV light, which fall in the non-visible parts of the spectrum. Now, this might all sound technical, but it's really important to understand this. If you want to improve mitochondrial function, you want to improve eye health, get some sunlight exposure to your skin, maybe 15 to 30 minutes per day.
Red light therapy is generally safe, but it is always a good idea to talk to your doctor, as the red light devices that have LED lights can generate heat that may affect sensitive skin. Watch for irritation like redness, burning, or eye discomfort, and always follow the device instructions or seek professional help if needed. Noise-canceling headphones and earbuds are everywhere these days. They help us tune out the chaos of city life, noisy offices, and background distractions. And sure, they're great for focus, relaxation, and making music sound incredible. But have you ever wondered if all that silence is changing the way our brains handle sound? Audiologists are now speaking up about wearing noise-canceling tech. They say if we use it too long, it might mess with how our brains process sound. Worst case scenario, it could even contribute to something called auditory processing disorder, or APD. APD happens when your brain has trouble making sense of sounds, even if your hearing itself is perfectly fine. People with APD often struggle to pick out speech in noisy places, follow conversations, or notice small differences in sounds. And since we rely on sound for learning and communication, this can have a pretty big impact on daily life.
Do you own a pair of noise-cancelling headphones? Well, for some that do, they're wearing their headphones for up to 8 hours a day, and audiologists are concerned that this could have an impact on their sound processing skills. Some suggest that by blocking out the everyday noises like car engines, the brain can struggle to then filter out what is just noise and what is a sound signal, making it harder to pick up on those alerts or someone speaking directly to you. When someone has trouble identifying speech and understanding sounds, but their hearing level is normal, it could be what's known as an auditory processing disorder. The way we engage with visuals and audio has changed since the pandemic too, partially due to new products and technology, but also increased anxiety in noisy places after the lockdown. It's now common to see people walking outside wearing their noise-cancelling headphones and watching videos online with subtitles, despite perfectly hearing the sound.
Noise-canceling headphones and earbuds use passive and active noise cancellation to block out distractions and give you clearer sound. Passive noise cancellation is the simple stuff. It uses snug-fitting ear cups or ear tips like foam or silicone to physically block outside noise, kind of like earmuffs or earplugs. Active noise cancellation takes it up a notch by using tiny microphones to pick up background noise and then creating a sound wave that's the exact opposite to cancel it out. This works best for steady sounds like airplane engines or AC hums. Those sudden noises, like people talking, can still sneak in. Most modern headphones and earbuds combine both methods. Here's how the science behind the technology works.
Headphones take advantage of this by using tiny microphones to record the ambient sounds around you. The speakers then produce the exact opposite signal the microphone picked up to effectively cancel out that portion of the sound wave. This is different and more effective than noise-blocking headphones that rely on simple low-tech solutions to attempt to prevent outside noise from reaching your ears in the first place. But the microphones in your noise-cancelling headphones do require electricity to operate, so don't forget to pick up some batteries.
But what happens when that technology is gone and your natural ears have to do the filtering for you? Claire Benton, Vice President of the British Academy of Audiology, points out constantly blocking out everyday sounds, like car horns or background chatter, could make the brain less efficient at filtering noise on its own. She explains wearing noise-canceling headphones creates a kind of bubble where you only hear what you want without having to put in the usual effort to tune in and out of different sounds. Since the brain's ability to process complex sounds isn't fully developed until the late teens, relying too much on noise cancellation during those years might actually slow down the natural process of learning to separate speech from background noise. According to a recent article published by the BBC, several audiologists in the UK are now calling for more research into the impact of headphones on auditory processing. They say there's been a significant increase in demand for auditory processing disorder, especially for children under age 16. While there is no cure for APD, treatments are possible.
For people with auditory processing disorder, audiologists typically do something called auditory training. And this you can think of like physical therapy for your brain and your ears, and it strengthens your brain's ability to make sense of what it is hearing. Here is an example of an exercise we might do. Now this is called blending, and what I'm going to do is take a word, break it apart into its small little parts, and then you're going to put it back together. Okay, so I'm going to say it part by part. You say the full word back to me. Ready? Shirt. Did you say shirt? What about lick? Did you say lick? So that's something that might be super easy for most people, but for people that have any sort of issues with auditory processing, that can be very hard. I have seen adults, very smart adults, really fall apart during this exercise, and they're not really sure why. It has to do with your ability to detect those sounds and then to actually put it together, big picture. How did they all work together, and what would those sounds sound like if you were to line them up consecutively?
A big concern audiologists have is that while noise-canceling tech is often recommended to protect your hearing by blocking out those loud sounds, it might actually be hurting your hearing by cutting out too much of the background noise. We don't fully know the long-term effects of how our brains process sound, so it's a good idea to use these devices in moderation. Like with most tech, balance is key, protecting our ears from harmful noise while making sure our brains stay connected to the world of sound around us. Now it's your turn. Join our weekly meetings and become a field messenger. More information is available at our website, unitednetwork.earth. We're UNN, and we're taking back the news.